So today we continue with our class Kosher Kitchen, and we start with Sefer Shmiras Haloshon, and our topic today is positive commandments. And it says in the introduction to his Sefer Chofetz Chaim, the Chofetz Chaim enumerates 14 positive commandments that one may violate while speaking or listening to Lashon Hara. The commandments most commonly transgressed are: number 1, remember what HaShem your God did to Miriam on the way when you were living in Egypt. So it's actually like it's a positive commandment to remember what HaShem did to Miriam. Okay. Number 2, you shall love your fellow as yourself, right? Meaning you don't do to him what you don't want to be done to you. So number 3, with the righteousness you should judge your fellow, meaning to be giving a person benefit of the doubt. Number 4, you shall reprove your fellow, right? It's positive commandment, Vayikra 19:17, which includes the obligation to reprove one who is speaking Lashon Hara. Okay. So meaning when we are listeners. Number 5, HaShem your God shall you fear. Okay. Number 6, distance yourself from the falsehood. It's from Shmos 23:7. Number 7, and you shall go in his ways. A requirement to enumerate the ways of HaShem. Emulate. That's what we actually learn in Rambam, right, on Mondays. So that's Kilchos Dios. It's actually emulating ways of HaShem, right? His traits, and emulating his traits. Okay, so 7 remaining commandments are found in Shmos, and they give all of the sources. Okay, so those are positive commandments. I mean, there's not much to discuss. We spoke about that many times during this class. Okay, so I guess we stop here, and to be continued, and we'll see if we should go to stories. I'm not sure. We'll see. There are two more days left, 2 more like pieces left, and plus the stories. We'll see. Okay. So we continue with what? Okay. So we're on chapter number 14, and we're talking about Kashering the vessels. Okay. So next section is section C. Subsection C. Now we're talking about Hagalah, right? Hagalah with an even-Meluban. Okay, so what is it? We're going to see. There is a type of irui clay rishon. Irui, we said, I think last time we were talking about like pouring from original vessel. Right, that was on the fire. Irui kli rishon. Again, there is a type of irui kli rishon that the more effective than the regular irui kli rishon. Okay, what is it? This is when the irui is enhanced with even-Meluban. Even-Meluban. Okay, a white hot stone. Right, that's the famous one. So it says one should be able to use a piece of hot metal, or in a place of rock or a brick. Okay. So, but everywhere it says, however, a rock or a brick retains intense heat for a longer time, whereas the metal cools off quickly and must be constantly returned to the fire to be reheated. I mean, that's the way I see it. It's a big bother, right? This thing, right? Because you have to drop the stone inside of the vessel from which you pour, like every time when the stone cools down, because it should cool down, because it would heat up the water. So you have to take out this stone with pliers, I don't know, something. And put it back on a stove, so to get it hot. Not such an easy procedure. It's heavy. Why is it heavy? Okay. So again, This is enhanced irui kli. So meaning when you just want to pour. There is a type of the irui kli rishon that the more effective than the regular irui kli rishon. This is when the irui is enhanced, right, with Even-Meluban, the white hot stone or a brick that one brick. There is one pours the boiling water into the hot stone placed on a surface being koshered. Okay, it has to be tough surface. As noted above, irui kli rishon is less effective than a regular Hagalah, right? I mean, as we understand, right? Because it's not as hot. Okay, because the water is no longer in a contact with, and no longer heated in a hot pot. So when you do Hagalah, so if this pot is still on a fire, yeah, it's the water is being cooled down, of course, because you put there a cold vessel. I mean, cold room temperature cold, right? But still much colder than the water inside. But still, like the fire is going there. The hot stone increases the heat of the kashering water, making it similar to the water boiling in a pot. I mean, the best preference is the water in a pot, but this is second best. Okay, because not everything, I guess, you can put in this into this kashering pot. However, even irui kli rishon enhanced in this manner is less effective than normal kashering in kli rishon. Meaning, right? So I mean, in a normal kashering, when you dip this something into this kashering pot, and may be used only in specific cases. Okay, so let's see. So of course it's less effective than kli rishon. So kli rishon again. Reminder: kli is the vessel. Rishon is the first. Kli rishon altogether definition is the vessel that was on that is on a source of fire. Sometimes even if you take off the fire or a source of the heat and it's still hot inside, we still call it kli rishon, right? Because that's where the things are cooked or heat up. Okay. Commentary. It seems from Shulchan Aruch, Orach Chaim, 415, section 16, that Even-Meluban is equal to Hagalah in a kli rishon. Very interesting, right? So Shulchan Aruch says that if you do it through this hot stone, right, this white stone, that's almost as good. It's as good. It's not the same. It's equal to Hagalah, like you put it in a vessel itself. However, Pri Hadash and Elia Rabbah, cited by I'm not sure who is it. I don't know. Okay, it's only abbreviations. Some abbreviation I know, some abbreviation I don't know. BH. Okay, don't remember. Note that the less effective than the usual Hagalah. So Shulchan Aruch says as effective. These people say not effective. This great rabbi said not effective. This conclusion is accepted by Mishnah Brura. Okay, no problem. Mishnah Brura. So meaning that is not as effective. So, but since Shulchan Aruch says is, but under some specific cases. And commentary says, such as utensil, that are usually used with irui kli rishon, but are used at times with the actual kli rishon. I mean, we need the example. So, meaning some vessel that nobody ever cooked there, or some only pour the hot content into this vessel. Okay. However, utensils regularly used with kli rishon cannot be koshered with irui kli rishon, even with Even-Meluban. However, utensils regularly used with kli rishon, meaning when you cook in them, cannot be kosher with irui kli rishon, even if Haloshon Even-Meluban. So meaning Mishnah Brura. So it says that pots that you use for cooking cannot be kosher with just pouring the water around, even if you use the stone there. Okay. So for this you need to dip it into another pot. Okay. So now that they go in some details. So number one, the stone. The stone is referred to by Paskim as an Even-Meluban. Sorry. Literally, this means a stone that is white hot. Right? So if you ever saw the metal when it's hot, it's white. Scary looking. It is not sufficient for a stone to be a Yatzeledes bo, of course. It must be hot enough to boil the water. Right? It's hot enough, but when you pour the water, it's going to evaporate or boil the water if you put it inside of the vessel. I guess it's not going to able to boil like cold water, but if it was warm enough, I think you would be able to boil. Very interesting. Right, so Yatzeledes bo, it's not good enough. It must be hot enough to boil water. The stone must cause any water to touch to sizzle. Okay, so meaning very hot. And commentaries say this significantly hotter than rock that is placed in a large pot being Kashrut. Right. The purpose for the hot stone above is so that the water is not to be cooler. Right, it's not to be cooled. I'm sorry, the water not to be cooled, meaning that it would continue be hot, right? Because they remove the water from the source of heat, right? From the source of heat and pour around. The purpose of the hot stone in this case is to give the eruid the status of Haloshon. So here's the example when we're going to see the Kashering for Pesach. So that's our sink, right? Nobody cooks in the sink. Yeah, there are very, very hot water that a person would pour into. For example, they just cook spaghetti or something, right? So they pour the water out. And this water is full of chametz, right? So for sure. So this kind. So since it was only liquids from even liquids from Haloshon were poured into the sink, but nobody ever cooked in that. So that's why in this case you can use the stream from the cattle, right? Hot water to kosher the sink. And some people say no, you have to put on the bottom this white stone. I mean, as I understand, I think it can ruin the sink. Okay, so continue. So we got the idea about the stone, and now we're talking about we're going to next one, number 2, utensil. Although any utensil being kosher should preferably not be ben yama, so meaning not to be used today, right? In the past 24 hours. A utensil that requires kosher with Even-Meluban should certainly not be ben yama. Okay. Since the efficacy of the Even-Meluban is less than certain. Right. So less than certain. Right. Okay. So but usually as a rule, as we said before, you must wait 20 wash nicely, right? Let it stay for 24 hours, and only after that period you can kosher. Okay. Especially with Hagalah. Okay. So number 3, with a torch, as we said, with the fire, we said you don't have to wait because this fire is going to burn everything. But the water only extracts. Right, and if the taste is still live, meaning it's up to 24 hours, like if you let it stay, it's going to reabsorb, and like it's like you never koshered. That's the issue. So point number 3, the manner in which to kosher. When using Even-Meluban, so meaning this white stone, the hot stone should be moved over to the surface of utensil so that it hits all the water being poured. So meaning on the bottom put this white stone, this hot stone, and then pour the water on it. So it's going to be like heat up the water even more. Okay. However, it did not be placed over the every spot, since the stone effectively heats up any water in its immediate surrounding area. Okay. And commentary says, Mishnah Berurah 4:51-53, it would seem that for this same reason, the stone may be held slightly above the utensil. I mean, it's possible, but you have to have a special tool with which to hold the stone, right? It's not so convenient now. With one hand, you're going to hold the stone, and with another, it's pour. Right. So continue. So we're up to the section number 6, and now topic is Kashering is Hagalah. Okay. I mean, maybe he's going to like. Oh, okay. So we're at the end of this section. That's why. I mean, all this time we were speaking Kashering is Hagalah. Okay. And it says the process of Hagalah is the process of Hadachah. I apologize. Kashering is Hadachah. Right, Hagalah. Right, we finished. The process of Hadachah, is a means by which one removes any residue of non-kosher food from utensil. Hadachah has 2 purposes. So now it's third. No, it's not third. So one with a heat, one with water, right? One with pouring from utensils, and as enhancement is they would use a white stone, like a hot stone. So now is the next one, right? Is the next approach. Hadachah is used as a preparatory step before other forms of kashering in order to remove any prohibited matter or any substance that may interfere with the kashering procedure. The Hadachah must be done in a manner that ensures that all residue is removed. If the simple rinsing does not remove the residue, one must use soap, detergent, or abrasive substances that scrub the utensil clean. Okay, so it's this is like preparatory step. So it's not kashering. I mean, right? In some sense, you when they say kashering, meaning like removing forbidden taste, right? So with all of the soaps, like for sure you kill the taste. So like right. So in some sense, if it was a dairy taste that was absorbed into the wall, so like with your washing with a soap without like this chemicals, so for sure you destroy that. In some sense, it was kosher. In some sense. Okay. So number 2, Hadachah is also a form of kashering in itself. Okay, how? When a utensil was used only with cold food. Oh yeah, okay. Well, yes. We said if it was only with cold, it's you must wash it well with the soapy water, right? That's I mean with the soap and sponge, right? We said before. Maybe not sponge. Like every time you have an issue, like any doubt. So what I would do, I would go to the bathroom. And like in a bathroom sink, but don't use the kitchen sink, just in case, right? And take paper towel, right? Soap and paper towel. So for sure to be like don't do it in your regular sink. Okay, but I mean you can technically but we try to be like a little extra careful. Okay. So again, this Hadachah is also a form of Kashering in itself. The utensil was used only for a cold, non-kosher food, right? The requirement methods of Kashering in Hadachah, since the heat was not present. So meaning, right, since the heat was not present, meaning that person wanted to eat cereal, right, and eat cereal with milk in the morning, and then took meat spoon, right, to eat the cereal. So yeah, right. The milk was cold, right, but you need to kosher. How do you kosher? You wash it. So since there was no heat, right, as we said before, the taste did not go in, right. The taste only goes in with the heat. So, but still, it's not kosher. It's not. So we need to kosher via this Hadachah. Okay. So again, the whole sentence, since the heat was not present during the use of utensil, no taste absorbed exactly, and the heat is not required to kosher the process because it's only on the surface. Okay, merely washing the utensil thoroughly is required, and sufficient methods of kosher. So okay, so I mean I completely forgot about it, but we spoke about many times, right? So only again all of these things that you must kosher only when it was used for cooking, or not for cooking, but with a hot food. Above Yatzal, otherwise you can just wash. It is interesting to note that the second time of Hadachah requires the first as well. There's when Kashering with the Hadachah, one must clean the utensil from any residue, and then rinse it again with water to kosher it. Okay, no problem. So meaning that the first step, right? First step is to wash it. And the second step, I mean, I'm not sure what's the second step, is still washing it. Okay, no problem. So, section number 7. And it says, determine which methods of kashering to use. Okay. Before one can decide which methods of kashering to use, one must determine the manner in which the utensil came into contact with the non-kosher taste. Right? Non-kosher taste. According to some poskim, one may kosher a utensil according to the primary use. There is called rov tashmishoy. Rov tashmishoy. Rov, it's like majority. Does the bowl that used primarily for the cold food and merely scrubbed well with Hadachah, even though it is used at times with a hot food. So if it majority of the use with a cold food, sometimes with a hot food, so we can just wash it. Okay, and in this case, the way I understand, in this case, this forbidden taste went went in. That was in this utensil when it was cold, so we can just wash it. And commentary here says the reason for this leniency is that most utensils being kosher are not ben yamo, right? Meaning after 24 hours. So technically, right. There is a much more leniency. They were not in use for previous 24 hours. Thus, the requirement of kashering is only rabbinic. So, according to biblical, there is no problem because after 24 hours, the taste is spoiled. Therefore, Chazal were lenient to accept the lesser level of kashering according to majority use. Right? Majority use that helps out a lot. Right? If you steer with if you steer something hot, that's the problem. But if you made the coffee, right, coffee would be a problem, right? Hot coffee, and you start drinking. You put the milk in there, and you start drinking, and you realize it's not sweet. So I forgot to put sugar. So now you put sugar with a meat spoon, and still that would be a problem. So this Hadachah is not going to work out, right? However, if the utensil was used for the stricter used for the stricter. Secondary. Used during the previous 24 hours, the stricter type of kashering is required, right? So even though you use this spoon, I guess in my example that you use for, I don't know, meat spoon. I'm not sure what some for cold stuff, and now you use it for a cut. So in this, yes, for now you have to kasher it according to the situation, meaning that it was used with heat. Continue. A pan most often used for cooking with liquid is kashered with Hagalah, right? Even though it is used at times to fry foods without liquids. Okay. Right, but so we're going by majority of use. Other poskim maintain that one must kasher the utensil according to the stricter use. Thus, a bowl requires Hagalah, and a pan is required libum, right? Always, right? A common custom among Ashkenazim Jews is to follow the stricter opinion. However, even Ashkenazim custom is lenient with regard to following situations. Okay, so before we go, okay. Other poskim maintain that one must kasher utensil according to the stricter use. Okay. Thus, the bowl requires Hagalah, and the pan as libum requires libum, meaning we're going by majority use, not majority, but stricter use. Meaning, if you sometimes you use it with heat, so that's a stricter approach that we must take. Okay. The common custom among our Ashkenazim Jews is to follow the stricter opinion. However, even Ashkenazi custom is lenient with regard to following situations. So let's see the commentary before we go into the three examples. Okay. An additional case is the rule of Even-Meluban, so meaning with this hot stone, cited above. Erui Kli Rishon with Even-Meluban is less effective than normal kashering. Okay, so meaning there's the approach of pouring from the Kli Rishon, or pouring from Kli Rishon with a hot stone. So it's less effective than regular kashering in a Kli Rishon, in the first vessel, and cannot be used for utensil used in a Kli Rishon. Cannot be used for utensil used as in a Kli Rishon. Okay, no problem. Thus in a case of utensil that usually used with Kli Rishon, right? Used with Kli Rishon, I guess maybe some, I don't know what was it, like some spoons they steer. Utensil usually with used with. I'm sorry. Thus, in a case of utensil that they usually use with Erui Kli Rishon, right? The utensil from which into which you pour a bowl or something, right? So you pour a soup into this bowl. It was Erui Kli Rishon, but sometimes with actual Kli Rishon, as an actual Kli Rishon, meaning, or you cook sometimes in there. We would normally not allow to follow Rov Tashmisha, meaning since from time to time you cook in it, so we have to go according to Ashkenazi custom, of course, stricter view. So not by majority, according to this poskim, but actually by stringent case. Okay, right, and not rely on Rov Tashmisha leniency, meaning by majority cases that we use only like to pour pour into that utensil from the Kli Rishon. Thus, this utensil would need to be kashered in the actual Kli Rishon, right? So meaning regular Hagalah. Nevertheless, we are lenient and rely upon Erui Kli Rishon with Even-Meluban. See Mishnah Berurah. Okay, so here is exceptions. Number one, if utensil was kashered according to primary use, and used to cook kosher food, and food may be eaten. Again, if utensil was kosher according to primary use, so like we're talking, the way I understand, we're talking about after the fact, right? So after the fact, they are kosher according to primary use, not according to this exception, one exception case or few exception cases, right? Primary use and used to cook kosher food. The food may be eaten, meaning they did not kosher according to the stringent view. They are kosher according to lenient view, and plus they already cooked the food, so there is there's nothing to kosher. I mean, the food is kosher, and utensil is kosher, like after the fact, but don't need to be kosher. Okay, makes sense. Number 2. I mean, initially we try not to do it, of course. Number 2. If utensil is fragile and cannot be kosher according to its stricter secondary use, so it's not primary, secondary use, one may merely kosher it according to the primary use, right? According to primary use. For example, a Teflon coated pot, that is usually used for cooking, but is used at times for frying, may be koshered with Hagalah, since libun ruined Teflon coating. Okay, so again from the beginning. If the utensil is fragile and cannot be koshered according to the stricter secondary use, one may merely kosher it according to the primary use. So meaning that, not sure. For example, Teflon coated pot, right? We said that you use expose the Teflon coating to the with the high heat, it's going to crack. We know that. Teflon coated pot is usually used for cooking, since it is pot, it's not frying pan, right? Cooking, but it's used at times for frying, may be kosher with Hagalah, since libun would ruin the Teflon coating. So that's a very good exception. So to know, leniency. All right, because there is leniency because there is second opinion, or I mean, according to the key, it's the first opinion that we can go by rov. Rov is a majority. Number 3. If utensil is usually used for cooking with a liquid, but is used at times to fry food without liquid. Again, if a utensil is usually used for cooking with liquid, but is used but at times to fry foods without liquid, libum is required according to Ashkenazi custom. Okay. However, since the requirement of libum is merely chumrah, libum kal suffices. Okay. So let's read again and try to understand. If utensil is usually used for cooking with liquid, so a regular pot, but is used at times to fry foods without liquids, libun is required according to Ashkenazi custom. I mean, that's lechatchila, like to begin with. However, since the requirements for libum is merely chumrah, meaning it's merely stringency, like to libum, libum kal suffices. Okay, libum kal suffices, so meaning to pour from libum kal suffices. Okay, 78. Okay, see Mishnah Berurah 451-48. Okay, no problem. So we finished that chapter. Let me quickly check time. Okay, so let's start next chapter. It's a Kashering for Pesach. So now it's like more practical where we learned before. Now we're going to see how it's practically applied in preparation for Pesach. So chapter 15, preparation, Kashering for Pesach, a step-by-step guide to prepare your kitchen for Pesach. So utensil by utensil instruction for kashering. Sure. So these instructions are actually, so just so we understand, are used for kashering kitchen in general. So if somebody had not kosher kitchen and they want to kasher it, so that's exactly the same instruction. It's not like anything different for Pesach. Okay. Are there any exceptions? Okay, we'll see about exceptions. Okay. So first question. So as usually he presents a few questions. Should the countertop be kashered or covered? Countertops. May one kasher sink with boiling water heated in a year-long kettle. Meaning, we use this kettle only for tea, right? So what is it for? Not for hot water. Forget about tea. For hot water, we don't put any tea, anything inside. Right. It is. So next question: is it necessary to cover refrigerator shelves? I mean, it was only cold, but sometimes there are spills, right, in the refrigerator. So that's a very good question. Next one: must one cover oven knobs? Right, when you regulate, why? Because many times there are like splatters. Like right when you fry some of the splatters and they fly on the knob. Okay. Must next question. Must one cover an oven hood? Oven hood is a disaster. It's I mean for sure it's not cleanable. I mean right. I'm not sure how we can clean it. So we simply just cover it with aluminum foil and that's it. So. Not even we never try to. I mean, you clean with the soap to make it nice, like clean like on the surface, but inside there is a filter. It's not going to work out so well. Okay. So service forward. Preparing for Pesach, finding the balance. Okay, finding the balance. Many women are overwhelmed by the task preparing for their home and particularly their kitchen for Pesach. Right. So as we always say, most of these things that they do are not necessary. Right. Just because of lack of knowledge. But if they want to make the house clean, like spring cleaning, that's a different story. But most of these cleanings are not necessary. Okay. They approach Pesach with anxiety and even panic. Some women believe that the house must be get rid of even the smallest speck of chametz. Okay, anything that may have come in contact with chametz, even by a remote chance, must be scrapped and koshered, which is ridiculous, right? So I mean, but it all comes because of the lack of knowledge. This admirable and wholesome instinct to prepare for admirable and wholesome instinct to prepare for Pesach in the most comprehensive manner possible is inherited from our grandmothers. So our grandmothers, like the Kosher, it's all legends. Like and they, in the case of grandmothers, like everything was much harder. Many of them were poor, and they would need to kosher everything, like for use of Pesach. For us, it's much simpler. For like in our generation, you just buy something new, and that's it. Like a separate set for Pesach, and then store it somewhere. I don't know where people store it. We have a little like a corner in the basement to store it, right? That they gave us, but other people, I don't know, under the bed, like in a closet. I don't know. It's a lot of boxes still. Like, so one second. So continue. However, the shoe must fit the foot. Shoe must fit the foot. Truth be said, much of the cleaning is a humrah, praiseworthy, no less, right? That is not absolutely required by Halachah. So it is praiseworthy, the intention, they want to clean everything, but it's not a requirement, right? And plus, if a woman would be too tired, like on the night of Pesach, like and she would be sleeping and not be able to hear the whole story. Like, who needs that? So it defeats the purpose. While one is obligated to follow Halachah in all its details, one may not accept Humras that beyond one's limits. Okay, so if you have a cleaning lady and you want to pay her for like 7 days to clean, yeah, there is a problem, right? But especially for husbands to put all the pressure on the wives, and so a woman is killing herself with this. So, for example, she cannot bend down, like because of blood pressure, this pressure, that pressure. So it's so there is not all of the things are not necessary, especially on the floor. Like people washing the floor. I mean, the floor, they should be clean. But if you sweep, there are no pieces size of kizais, nobody is going to eat from the floor. Even if you find, let's say you find something under your stove, are you going to eat it? No, most likely, I hope not. Right? So that it's not considered chametz. And dirt is not chametz. All right. So one may not accept humras that beyond one's limits. Okay. Our grandmothers lived in a harsher environment. Life was more difficult and accepted as such. Okay. For better or for worse, we live an easier life in a physical sense and are less equipped with a physical and emotional strain. So our grandmothers survived. They did not live long, most of them, right? Did not live long, but they were more equipped to survive all of the physical work or emotional stress. Right? When we are exacting beyond our physical or emotional capabilities, our aspect of avodah HaShem inevitably suffers. Okay, this may manifest itself in the impatience with our children or irritability toward our spouse. Okay, it may be that we come to subconsciously resent the mitzvah and even Yom Tov itself. So subconscious, a woman think again Pesach, and she does not want Pesach. It's how the freedom and HaShem wants her to enjoy it, but for her it's suffering. She's in dread, right? So she does not want it. So that's that's a big problem. We approach Yom Tov exhausted. We approach Yom Tov exhausted, right? Very hard, after hard work, and physically spent, and see the Seder less than half awake. Right, especially Seder starts very late, right? Less than half awake. While we work so hard to make Yom Tov beautiful and everything else, for everyone else, for us it may be lost of charm and splendor. So other people enjoy, the guests enjoy, right? But the hosts they're dead. Therefore, it is imperative that each woman understands her limits. First of all, right, there is halakhic requirement, and there are humras, and plus there is limits. So whatever humras she wants, humras like stringency, she wants to accept, there is no problem, but not to kill herself. Right, but it's very sad if she does not have anybody to ask. I mean, today there are many videos done with all the details. There are books, but some people don't read and don't watch the videos. That's the problem. Halachah must be followed. Halachah must be followed without compromise, but humrah must be carefully evaluated. Okay, so that's what we said, right? Halachah is not changing. Minimum requirement not changing, but all the humras we see what we can accept. I'm emotionally and physically able to follow. Am I emotionally, physically able to follow this humras without losing appreciation for the mitzvah? So that's the biggest killer. Right, it's the biggest killer when she's so tired and she does not they said no Pesach, I don't like Pesach. What I mean, you don't like Pesach, you're a religious person. Yeah, I don't like, no, that's not what I mean. It's a lot of cleaning, a lot of headache and this and that, aggravation. Right, so with approach like this, like all of the chumras from the Satan. You understand? We have to be careful. Rav Yerucham Levovitz in Das Torah, Bereshis pages 19 and 20, writes that one may not accept upon himself additional chumras if they have become a burden. Chumrah, so he says if it's these stringencies become a burden, don't do that because you will come to resent it. Right? Chumrah is healthy if it is increases one love to avodat HaShem. Right, so that's very important. So all of the stringencies are good, healthy, meaning if they're going to bring you close to HaShem. If not, it is not only unhealthy but dangerous, meaning that the person can drop everything because of the chumras. So, and that's why we try not to teach people chumras. I mean, many people start from chumras. We say about basic, they get upset. Okay, so it's very interesting. There is no easy formula to apply. It is a matter of balance. I certainly wish to properly prepare my home for Pesach, and I'm not looking for shortcuts, right? So we don't so she might say, no, not to get tired, I'm not going to do anything. It's also not a solution. However, I must be reasonable and practical. Is it rational to imagine that there is a chometz on top of the shelf of the closet? Right, so you have a closet in your bedroom, right? You have a closet in your bed. You can take all the clothing from the shelf and wipe them, and you can fold it nicely and put it back. But look, is it possible that somebody put some chometz on the shelves? Most likely not. So in kids' room, yes, there is. These kids, Baruch Hashem, God bless them, they would put chometz everywhere. He was eating cookie, and then he decided he going to save for later, and he put it between the toys. Right? I mean, normal. That's normal. So in the kids' room, yes, you have to check. But if you never took, for example, we have parts of our house, we never take our apartment that we never took chometz. Never, ever. Forget about chometz food. So unless it is water, right, we don't take it. Even juice or whatever, there are the rules. Stricter rules to make the life a little easier for Pesach, right? So if you want to eat, go to the kitchen, go to the dining room, eat there, no problem. But the living room sometimes, right? Part of the living room, not all of the living room, but don't eat it like everywhere in the house, right? In the bedroom, so because we'll need to clean it. But if you know that nobody ever took anything there, so that's it. You're safe. Okay. Okay. So again, this sentence: is it rational to imagine that there is a chometz on top shelf of the closet? Most likely not. What type of chometz am looking for? Right? I am actually required to ensure that there is no crumbs anywhere in the home, right? It's not, but it's a question. It is not for the purpose of this book to discuss the details of the Pesach cleaning. One must consult Rav or to attend Shiur to become properly informed as to which part of the Pesach cleaning is actually necessary. Right. So I mean, if you want to wash the floor, yeah. But in olden days, even the walls in the house they were not even. Sometimes, only richer people, not rich for sure, but richer people would have the plaster inside, right? So inside of the house, not everybody had plaster. So, and even if they had plaster, so sometimes sometimes it would crack and create holes and crevices, right? And sometimes children would put the humans there, or even mice, or other animals, right? Would put the homets there, right? In this case, yes, you would have to go and check with a feather when you're checking for homets, right? On the night when we check for homets and all of the cracks and crevices. But today, like there is no such a thing in our houses. Okay. So in that time, yes, you have to like check and clean, and it says if it's possible that would somebody reach in that place, but if it's higher than that place, the height on the wall, so you don't have to check because it's very unlikely that somebody put the homets there. So all of these things, it's very interesting how to clean. Okay, much of what we do may be admirable, but halachically unnecessary. So, right, admirable that you want to get of homets, but work on on the homets inside of you, not for these few crumbs that maybe you're going to dispose of, or maybe not. Women under stress should not do more than halachically required. One must balance the sincere and pure desire to properly serve the Ribono Shel Olam, right, Master of the world, right, Ribono Shel Olam, with recognition of one limitation. So, you do your best, but HaShem he's going to credit you like you did 10 times more, right? But you do according to your limits. So don't kill yourself again. When relating this aspect of Avodas HaShem that are beyond the scope of, when relating to aspect of Avodas HaShem, meaning as serving of HaShem, that are beyond of the scope of this halacha, we apply the dictum Rachmana liba bayei, right? HaShem desires the sincerity of the heart, right? That's, he does not care about how clean, right? So because it's not, for sure, it's not homeless. So it's very long introduction. So let me check time quickly. 1 second. Okay, I think we can stop here because next paragraph is very long. Okay, so we can stop here and to be continue as he promised. So we're going to go case by case. Stove, how you do stoves, burners, deep pan, like underneath when there are things like dripping, right? Microwaves, if it's kosherable, right? Sink, countertops and stuff like that. Okay, very interesting. All right, so we stop here. To be continued. Quickly need that. All right. So let's see if you have any questions on the topic. Let's see, 1 second. Okay. Okay, so let's do maybe a few questions before break. Okay, so it's I guess from yesterday. Now, a general question. I wonder why would one to have a quiet some aversion toward the opposite gender who have some similar personality as the oneself. For example, the submissive people mostly do not find each one attractive. So does the dominant person among each other. Okay. That's very good question. Very good question. Very practical question. So again, I wonder why would it want to have the quiet some aversion toward the opposite gender, who have a similar personality oneself. For example, submissive people mostly do not find each other attractive. So these dominant people among each other. So I think it's my personal understanding, because they look in the look in opposite gender in the different opposite qualities. So if for example, is a woman is a submissive, right? It's a submissive type, and a man like opposite gender is the same. I mean, I'm not sure why would they have anything against them. It's just not your type, but I'm not sure why would they not like them. I'm not sure, to tell the truth. First I thought that I have idea, but now I'm not sure. They not compete for the same. Like if the women would not like each other because in this, for example, submissive type, I understand, because they in some sense they compete for the same man. I understand that, or opposite. But I mean, the same gender I understand, but opposite gender I'm not sure why. Why is that? I never heard about it. Okay. But same the gender, right? And for example, if somebody dominant to dominant guys, so they want to be like rulers, right? So that's the problem. Okay. So next question, general question: if one has been brainwashed from a young age, who hasn't been washed from a young age? Tell me. But I mean, this is general statement. Okay, young age, to hold prejudice against certain group of people without valid reason. So everybody has this, and they realize that's a wrong ideology. How can they subdue their long existing bias and acquire the right perspective? Okay, so let's try to read it from the beginning and understand. If one has been brainwashed from young age to be prejudiced against certain group of people without valid reason, and they realize that the wrong ideology, how can they subdue their long existing bias to acquire the right perspective? I would say that it depends against what people. So if it's some people I have no contact with, I mean, who cares about them? I mean, just forget about this bias. But if it's like a sort of group of people that I had to, they have to relate, I have to have some relationship. That's a different story. So I would say you need to learn about a lot about this group of people. I'm not sure what would be the example. For example, I mean the most popular is against the Jews. Right? It's prejudice about the Jews. So people should learn about the Jews, the positive qualities. Like for example, somebody left. I have some messages. I just don't have time to reply. But in my mind, I already replied them many times. So people say, like one lady, I think, say, no, it's Jews cannot be religious. I said, what do you mean? Like, I mean, it was not clear. So I asked her, like, what she means. She said, all of Jews are materialistic, right? And I never in my life met a religious Jew. So in my mind, like, I want to answer it, like, what is frogs in what is it in some what is it called? I forgot the word. Like frog leaves, right? Frog leaf, right? They probably never heard about buses. So right, and then they speak with each other, like there are no buses in the world. So that's why there is no buses, just because they never met one, like never saw one, like you normal. So like there are people like that, right? So for example, if it's about Jews, yeah, you can learn more about more truth about them. But if about other group of people, like some nationality, they're stupid. I say like a different nationalities, like in a different part of the world, they take one nationality and they like make of jokes how stupid they are. I mean, I know like a few nationalities. Are they like the smartest? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they're not like to offend them. Also, absolutely not right. Okay. So even like there are no like famous like professors or like famous people. No problem. Okay. Famous writers or something. Scientists. Okay. No problem. Right. So again, if I'm going to be involved with this group of people, so I have to learn about like to eradicate. But if I have nothing to do with them, just try to don't think about it. Okay. So I guess let's do a break, 5 minutes, and then we continue with different topics. Let's do 5 minutes break. So we continue with the laws of Yichud in chapter 3, section C, subsection C, and subsection C2, and subsection number 2. Okay, I mean we didn't get to it, but it's coming. And our topic is Baalot beer, meaning the husband is in the city. And last time we said there are two approaches. One approach is how practical is it, what's the definition of the city? Meaning, can he actually come? What's the probability he's going to come, not going to come? How far is it? How near it? Near it is, maybe it's like a different city, but it's very near. And the second approach is said it's all irrelevant. It's all because of in the psyche of a woman, and she would be like afraid if like just from knowledge, like just from imagination that he might come in, and she would be labeled as not a good wife, to say the least. Okay. So continue. If husband location is verified, for example, caller ID or tracking device. Okay. In general, according to the stringent view, first view, any circumstances that prevent a husband that is beyond his control from returning home during the Yichud render his halachic status equivalent of the husband who is outside of the city. So, for example, he just came to his job at the other side of the town, right? And he just called his wife, and she sees on the caller ID, yeah, his office number. And he said, yes, I just came, Baruch HaShem, and okay, have a nice day. I'm going to be very busy. So meaning what that even if he is going to leave right now his office, he's not. But if he would do it now, so it's since it's not rush hour, so he would need to wait for a train longer, buses, this and that. So like it would take him 2 hours to get home. So meaning that these 2 hours, it's like he outside of the city, right? So that's a stringent view, which is, I mean, for me, it makes perfect sense in my mind. Okay. Even if he actually located in the same city, in Parendel, okay. So again, because there is like these 2 hours or so, she would be very like comfortable that nothing is going to happen, meaning that he's not going to come. Since the principle of Baalot beer, according to the first view, is predicated on mirtas, right? There is a fear of discovery. It can only apply whether it is reasonable to accept that the husband to possibly appear. For example, if he is near enough to return suddenly, but if he is there and he last 10 years he's been working in this office, he never came home, or right, never ever. So like she would not have this fear. Okay. It follows, therefore, that woman whose husband's distant location is verified via the caller ID or video in the office, okay, vehicle traffic device and some, etc. It's not protected under the principle of Baalot beer, even if in his location is well within the city limit. There's a large city, right? So meaning, right? It's very interesting. I remember several people in my office. I remember, right? They installed this device. I don't remember what is it called. So it was a long time ago, right? In a car. So for teenagers. So first of all, to know exactly where the car is, and second, I think it would get this a speed with how fast they ride, and what was the time, what was the speed limit in that location. I mean, you can get it's available on GPS, so but it's like a special device. I'm not sure you pay only for device or by services too. I don't remember. So, but it was like a not removable, something like if they try to tamper, it's going to create all of these problems. So very interesting. So I remember the people would speak very loud, of course, so everybody can hear. They said, no, she's going there. No, she's going there. She's going there. I know, yeah. She's in the college, like his daughter or something. Right? It's very interesting. So if you know, like that she's in the car, and she's there. So right, that's very like most likely that's she's driving there. Okay. So this husband. Okay. So her just one second, did we say it or not? Her awareness of her husband cannot possibly appear from that the distant part of the city. Her awareness that her husband cannot possibly appear from the distant part of the city disqualifies her from the status of Baal Bir, that husband in the city, because most likely he's not going to come. Right, and Yichud is therefore forbidden, even though he is halachically in the same city, and that he can come over at any moment. However, once a period of time has elapsed during which the husband could conceivably appear, she's protected under the principle of Baal Bir. Right, so in example that I give, that he just called from his office phone that he just arrived. So meaning that it would take him 2 hours to get back if he is going to start back right now. But after 2 hours, right? So you don't know. So maybe he's on his way. Okay. However, once this period of time has lapsed, so again the sentence, during which the husband could conceivably appear, she's protected under principle Baal Bir. Okay. So point number 2, and it says guidelines for Baal Bir according to the second view. So second view, we said it's on subconscious level. It does not depend like a big city, small city, doesn't matter. Okay. And still, and even it doesn't matter if he usually comes this time. Okay. Or there is a reasonable possibility for him to come. And it says some poskim, the second view, right, explain that the concept of Baal Bir is an abstract psychology that influences the subtle emotion of a woman more deeply than simple fear of discovery. So that's like that's very, very interesting, right? It's based on psychology. Okay, this poskim posit that there is something about being in the same city that causes this subconscious feeling of fear to engage in unlawful, unfaithful arise conduct. At the same time, when she believes that her spouse in the city. So even this thing that he's in the city would stop her. Even though it's very unlikely that he would return. So in other words, if she's in a different city, maybe she would not have this issue. Okay. According to this view, this deep-seated understanding and this deep-seated undefined fear and anxiety are not directly related to the fear of discovery, right, is the true halachic basis for examples of balach bir. Okay, so that's based on this on this poskim, that it's actually based on psychology. Okay. So next, like a sub point, municipal borders can determine what is the city according to this view. Okay. So what is the city? According to the second view, right. So right in the first view we said it does not matter. Like even if it's like technically possible for him to come, if it's like a different city but very close, so that's it's like the same city. According to the second view, the principle of balach bir would exempt Yichud even when the husband is employed in a far side of a very large city, and even if he's set hours during which he's obligated to remain at his post, right? He's, I don't know, where was he? Right, so, I mean, he cannot leave. Okay. The halachic definition of the city in this context would be determined by the combination of mainly two factors. Okay, A, halachic eruv, at whom borders, and B, municipal identity. There is a name by which the municipality is called or referred to by the populace. Right. So meaning, okay. 1 second. So let's finish and we go start from the beginning. So because it's not clear. Okay. In fact, the jurisdictional municipal boundaries are not necessarily the deciding factor if some areas of the municipality is identified differently by residents. Right. So some neighborhoods, right? For example, some of the or parts of the neighborhoods. It could be like union, like joining from part of from one neighborhood going to another neighborhood. I mean, geographically it's one name, but by people call it differently. Like these areas are called differently, right? So very interesting. So let's do this paragraph from the beginning and we try to explain. According to the second view, the principle balach bir, so second again, no, it's only in psychology, would exempt Yichud even if the husband is employed in a far side of very large cities. So even these two hours by public transportation, there is no problem. So I mean, still she would be afraid even if you would call right away, right? I mean, right, even if he would not call, like since she knows that he's in a city, so that would stop him. And even if he set hours during which he's obligated to remain at his post, right? So there is some, I don't know, he's watching it like, or so he's on, I don't know, some power plant or something, right? So he must be there watching the equipment for sure. He cannot leave. There is nobody else. Right, so yeah, so he mostly he's not going to leave, right? So he's forbidden from leaving. If he would leave, he would lose his job anyway. She would be afraid. The halachic definition of a city in this context would be determined by a combination. So it's not one factor, combination of mainly two factors: halachic eruv and tchum borders. Eruv, I mean, we're going to see what eruv means, halachic eruv. And whom borders, meaning that when one city ends, and right, one city ends. Tchum is, as we said, it's 4.6 miles, around 1 kilometer, after the last house from of this settlement, be it a town or city, whatever. And B, municipal identity, meaning like official and halachic. Okay, there is a name by which the municipality is called or referred to by the populace. Okay, right. So I mean, what would be a good example? I'm not sure what would be a good example, but continue reading. In fact, the jurisdictional municipal boundaries are not necessarily the deciding factor in some areas of municipality identified differently by the residents. Okay. So let's see. According to this view, the city encompasses within the common techum, even very large one. For example, Yerushalayim, right? London, New York, so it's huge, right? All of these cities are huge. Certainly within each of 5 boroughs, right? New York 5 boroughs, would be considered in a city for for the Yichud purposes. Anywhere within the city limit, it is referred to people by the city name. So if they say New York, for example, and you're in Brooklyn, South Brooklyn, and still like North Bronx, right? It's like, I don't know how, like by public transportation, it could be 3 hours maybe. Driving, I don't know, depends on traffic. Also, like, I think it's very, very, very far, right? Very far. All right. 5 boroughs. I think it's Staten Island is one of the 5 boroughs, so it's even more south than Brooklyn. So I mean, right. So, but people call it New York. So yeah. So that's New York. Okay. Okay. So again, right, would be considered in the city. So yeah, he did not leave the city. He maybe he's not in the borough, but he's still in the city. For Yichud purposes, anywhere within the city limit, there is referred to by people by the same city. This means that the principle of balach bir would apply in these large cities, even if the woman's husband were the other side of the city, meaning very, very far away. Conversely, it stands to reason that since, according to this view, the municipal borders of the city are indeed the factor that determined what to consider in the city. So meaning he's in the city, like in your psychology, right? The exemption of balach bir would not apply if the husband is in another municipality, or even referred by a different name, right? Even if he is situated nearby, across the street. So meaning different name in the mind is some what is it? It's already different the different town. Example: the adjacent cities, villages of Spring Valley, New York, Muncie, New York, Manuet, New York, etc. can be regarded as different cities with respect to the Yichud because they are known and referred to by different names despite their close proximity. Okay, so let's try to see. Adjacent city, village of Spring Valley, New York. Village of Spring. So Spring Valley, New York. It's actually, I think it's where 5 towns are, right? Religious neighborhood, right? Religious neighborhood. Muncie, New York, Manuet. I'm not sure. Maybe they close to each other. Okay, so I mean they close to each other, but they can consider the different municipalities. Okay, no problem. So we stop here. Continue with the questions. Okay, so question number 3, I guess. We have a hypothetical scenario. A woman has an argument with her husband and gets the amazing double quotes, asking advice from her girlfriends, who got divorced twice before the age of 30, who advise her to take fake dump the guy in order to teach him a lesson, but they end up breaking up forever instead. How does this girlfriend do Teshuvah after realizing her advice caused irreparable damage, so that she does not have to get measure for measure the retribution she wants to get married again? That's a tough question. I mean, that's a part of the question. Think about what we learned from Medrash Rabbah, right? One of the things: don't get involved. One of the things that don't advise somebody to get divorced, right? In that case, it's like younger girl that was married by her mother or her brother, older brother, right? So I mean, yes, she can get like not even divorced, but she can dissolve this marriage easily. And we said don't advise her, right? How do you know that she's going to find a better fit? Maybe not. Right now, she's comfortable. She's there. Like there is a husband, so let them stay. So here's and it's very very powerful. And I had somebody said, I'm going to send you somebody for counseling, right? Family. I said, don't send me anybody for family counseling. It's like I don't have anything to do in my life. You can send them our classes that they can learn a lot and we start becoming kosher people. Right. It's very very time consuming and people very ungrateful and they're going to blame you in everything anyway, and not like right. So if there is a paid professional and he does not care and he's getting paid by the hours, so of course he's going to listen to you diligently and ask you question and make a notes in his or her like a notebook and then remind you 5 months later because they want your money. But if you try to make a peace and people who are not interested in peace, like I told you, like I said, another person, so no, don't give me instruction what to do. I want you to talk to my wife and tell her this. Who are you to tell me that I have to talk to you? You talk to your wife, right? You work on us. I am telling you, you have to work on yourself, and then you talk to your wife. But don't tell me what to do. These clowns, I don't know. Okay. So again, hypothetical scenario: a woman has an argument with her husband against the amazing idea asking the advice of her girlfriend, who's divorced twice. So right, before the age of Torah. Okay, so meaning this woman. So we have to understand this woman put a stumbling block in front of this girlfriend, right? So because she knows, like she at least she's supposed to know that this person is not qualified to give me advice, to give you advice, right? I mean, you ask somebody, I don't know, some person, I don't know, your nephew who is 17 years old, like what car should you buy? He said, okay, you buy a Lamborghini or something, like you buy a good car, fast car, sports car. Like you don't need this car, you need a family car, like for 5 people and plus a lot of luggage because you like to go to picnics from time to time. Who needs this sports car? But because you ask this person who is not qualified to give you advice, so you got the advice, right? Continue. Before the age of Torah. Who advise you to fake dump the guy, so meaning to pretend that they get a divorce, right? To teach him a lesson, and they get in break up. Okay, so maybe right. How does a girlfriend do Teshuvah after realizing her advice caused irreparable damage? So I mean that the Teshuvah of this girlfriend, that's the point when person does something like that it's irreparable, right? So first step is usually to regret, right? And the second step is never decided never to do it again, right? So, but like I told this guy, like you talk to your wife. I'm going to talk to your wife that she's supposed to be nice to you, like. Right. So meaning that people have to work on themselves. That's the main point, and then I try to work out with their spouse. Like that's the main point. But don't have a third person that is going to go in between you and try to make peace. it's not going to work. It's not going to work out. Right. So yeah, this government must understand that it was this disaster happened before because of me. But now, right? So misery loves company. So now we're both divorced, right? Separated, divorced, and now we're going to be like together, go to the shopping together, right? Which is a big issue. So like, but this person who asked her advice, this wife who asked her advice, is also there is a problem. Again, is putting stumbling block in front of the blind, right? This girlfriend is very miserable. Everything she knows about how bad men are and how you have to show them who is the boss in the house. Okay, so that's the issue. Okay. Continue. Next question. Rav, if when a woman is visiting house of a young boy under 9 with autism, becomes very friendly with them and close physically, wanted to sit next to or leaning on, is it okay when a woman is a woman to reciprocate and show kindness to the boy and his younger brother under 9, maybe over 6, with the parents knowing? Should the woman say something to the children or parents if she does not mind? That's a tough question. So okay, so let's try. So okay, so let's try to answer. Okay, from the beginning. Rav, if when a woman is visiting a house of a young boy under 9, so under 9, so like after above 9, it's a little more problematic, but beyond under 9 is a little less problematic. Okay, 9 with autism, right? Never. Because becomes very friendly with them and close physically, wanted to sit next to, leaning on. So it's still a woman, a kosher woman, has to keep the balance, the distance, for sure. That's for sure. So and the little exception is somebody's a nurse. So in nurse, she has to administer a shot or something. Yeah, in this case, yeah, she has to do whatever needs to be done, or she must examine the person, a patient or a child. So yeah, that's a different story. But here, to get close emotion, it's not proper thing, especially touching, all of the physical thing, sit together, and just because somebody is has autism does not mean anything, right? Okay, next. So we have to. A woman has to stay away from this. Is it okay for a woman to reciprocate and show kindness? So it is kindness, but we should not cross the line, right? So the kindness and to the boy, and he's younger than 9. Of course, if younger than 9, of course there is a little more leniency, but still we try not to do all the physical acts, right? Not to sit together, not to touch, right? Maybe over 6, okay. With parent knowing, parents they would do they like when somebody's taking care of the child and child is happy, he enjoys the company, right? They would not even think there is something is wrong, right? Should a woman say something to the children of parents if she does not mind? Right, so it's proper to keep the distance, unless it's needed according to her job. For example, she needs to change the child. That would be different, right? If she's a nurse, as we said, or some caretaker, that would be different. But otherwise, stay away, right? Okay, so number 5. Rav, I heard that some short clip. I give you and we had a clip. This clip, a short clip, was actually based on what Rabbi Reuven Shlita says. So he had this brilliant idea, right? So like all of this, like what is it? What's it called? I don't know. Relationship between men and women, right? So like they just been friends, right? So yeah, so how long you're going to be friends? For some time, right? But then something would happen, and she would get emotional because your grandmother died, because your cat died. I don't know. Somebody died. Somebody, I don't know, had a miscarriage, like your sister had a miscarriage. So she would get very, very emotional and cry, and she would need a hug. And guess what? And he would be there, and he would hug her. Like it's only a matter of time. So like when you put in yourself in that situation, and it's only a matter of time for the next step, right? When you put this yourself in that situation, you have to know like you playing with fire, with atomic bomb. It's going to explode. Right? Same with these children, and then other children would like to hug, like this nurse or something. Okay. Number 5. I heard that for some short clip of Rabbi Reuven Shlita that Satan himself is submissive to his wife. Okay. Is guy that tends to let his wife to dominate over him considered to have trait of Satan for it? If he wants to become more dominant in order to avoid this problem, does he have to go to the opposite extreme and try to become more commanding until he manages to achieve a middle ground after some time regarding this issue? Okay, so let's do from the beginning. So I heard sometimes Rabbi Reuven Shlita that Satan himself submissive to his wife. Okay, I've heard of it. Okay, so let's say it is. So he's submissive. So what is the connection to us? If guy tends to let his wife to be dominant over him, concerning considered to have trait of the Satan. I don't think so. I know some people. Some guys, so they actually chose this position because it's very convenient. So they're not responsible for anything. So the wife is in charge. She has everything on her head, and he's like I don't know, a guest in the house. So to say that this guy is suffering, I don't think so. I mean, they may making jokes and stuff like that. Oh, my wife said, "Oh, my wife is calling. I'm sorry, boss is calling," and he would make it sound funny, but he's not responsible for anything. She's in charge, and she has this husband who is like this. So she knows that things must be done in life. So she's in charge, and she tells him what to do because he's very passive. So I mean, I don't know. I don't see any problem with that. I mean, if it's a healthy family, so let her be the boss. Understand? If she does not interfere in his what HaShem, if she allows him to go pray, to go learn, to do all of these things, so what's the problem, right? And plus, if he's on call, for example, learning full time, and she's in charge of the house, she's in charge of the money, in charge of the house. So she tells them what to do because he's like part of the family. She tells kids what to do. So he's like another kid. I would not compare him to a Satan. That's a little too much. If he wants to become more dominant, I mean, you become dominant. Guess what? So you would be responsible. So it's only one person that has to be a leader. Okay. Right, for some, in some families it's men, in some families women. I mean, right. Okay, so continue. Does he go to opposite extreme? I don't think so. Like to opposite extreme. So we have to this being a leader takes brings upon a person the responsibilities. So can you be a leader? So to be tough and your wife when she's running everything, yell at her and say, hey, it would be according to me. Okay, it would be according to you. So what should we do next? He said, oh, okay, well, what was in your mind to do next? I don't know. I have no idea, because he was never in charge. She was always in charge. Like, I'm not sure, is it a good idea? Like, for example, sometimes in the shuls, or many times in the shul, I don't like the leadership. Me personally, not liking is like a very polite word, but the things are being done. Somebody is installing the air conditioner. The stuff is being paid. This is being painted. This is taken care of. Okay, so maybe he's not the best person in this world, but do they want his position? Okay, you want his position, no problem, and you're going to have all of the headaches in the world. So me personally, I prefer this person. Doesn't matter, I like him, I don't. Right? I'd like him to be in charge. You understand? So of this community affairs, because he's very efficient. Me, I would would not survive one day. So I would explode. But he is very good with people. Maybe he's a little kiss up. Maybe this and maybe that. Maybe he's a little hypocrite. But at the end of the day, the job is being done. So do I want this job? Absolutely not. Do I want the job to be done? Absolutely yes. You understand? So just sometimes you just let somebody else be the leader and suffer from all of the headaches, and you just be on a secondary roles. That's it. So don't have to be a boss. Okay. So, and I learned many years ago. Say, oh, you don't like it, so you do it. And I try to do it. It's very hard. Say, oh, now I like it more. Right? That's it. Number 6. We have a hypothetical question about shidduch. Should one consider Baal Teshuvah who used to be a drug user in shidduch? Since according to Rambam, Kam Habris is more addictive than any drugs. If people who did Teshuvah from Kam Habris would not be considered as a red flag. Okay, very interesting question. Should the post-drug user also be acceptable? I hope I didn't. Okay, no problem. So let's do this from the beginning. We have a hypothetical question about shidduch. Should one consider Baal Teshuvah who used to be drug user in shidduch? I think right. So we're trying to compare Baal Teshuvah who used to do drugs with a person who used to waste seed, right? So I mean, it's I don't think you can compare to people, because Baal Teshuvah stopped, right, using drugs, but he still maybe I'm not sure, like, of course, case by case basis, he's missing something. So he had some pleasure before, and now he don't, right? He does not, right? But this was it this other person who had a problem with he was was wasting seed, right? Now he has a wife. So he's not going to waste it. I mean, he has a solution. So he had this addiction, and this addiction can be channeled to the kosher side. But in that one, addiction with the drugs, there is no solution. He has to stop cold turkey. But in this case, with Kam Habrisa, he does not. I mean, he stopped. He just redirects it and do it in kosher way. So I don't think it's a one-to-one comparison. So this form of drug user, so we have, of course, it's based on a person-by-person basis, but many times it's problematic. Again, when everything is going fine, there is no problem. He's the most spiritual person ever. But the thing is, when the test comes, and everything is crumbling, and like there is no job, there is no food, no this, no that. Like somebody is sick, somebody died, his cousin died, right? Who was like a brother to him. You understand? So, and the person would he had this avenue of escaping, like before that. So even he does not do now, but he remember there is one thing that he can do when it's too hard, life is too hard. He would do smoke or do smell or sniff. I mean, do whatever they do, and then he would come back. Understand? So it's dangerous. Of course, it's on a case by case basis, like how long he's been living without drugs. So that's of course there are some people who used to do drugs and they completely changed, but still there is a danger. So if it's like fresh, like maybe 1 year, I would say I have to wait a little longer because it's dangerous. Right, but wasting seed. Now he has a different solution. Right. So continue. Next question. Question about prayer. Question about prayer. If you have an elderly relative who is diagnosed with a terminal disease, and the person is known to be wicked, womanizer, wife beater, etc., should we pray for his refuah shlema, or should we pray for him to pass soon? Tough question. So again, question about prayer. If you have an elderly relative who is diagnosed with a terminal disease, okay, and the person is known to be wicked, womanizer, wife beater, and for example, somehow we know that he did not do Teshuvah, right? So he said, "Oh, if I could have get up from my bed, I do with my wife, right? She would be black and blue, basically, right?" However, should we pray? I would say don't pray. Right? Don't pray at all for this person. Like that's it. Well, why should we pray for that person at all? Right? So let HaShem decide what is best for that person. So it's best for him to suffer. Not taken soon. Just so we understand, taken soon is maybe it's a cruelty for him. Right, because HaShem knows that he has some good quality, right, and he wants to cleanse this person. So the more person is being cleansed in this world, the less he is going to suffer in the world to come. I mean, in Gehinnom, right? That's good. So this suffering, this disease is for his advantage. So why should we pray if we have merit? Maybe our prayers are going to get accepted. And meaning that actually it's the situation detrimental to a person if he's going to pass on soon and meet the judgment up there. So right. So I would say if you're not sure, don't pray. Don't pray for that person at all. Okay, no, not good and not bad. Okay, let it be. Okay. So next question: when Yom Kippur falls on Shabbos, do we do Havdalah of Yom Tov, wine only, and doing blessing over the Yortzeit lit candle, or Shabbos wine candle and Besamim? No. On after regular Yom Kippur, yes, we do this shortened Havdalah. What do you do Havdalah on? Right, so we don't do wine, we only do spices, right? If it's Yom Kippur was on regular day, right? But after Shabbos you do like on regular Havdalah after Shabbos. There is no difference, right? So Shabbos is more important than Yom Kippur. Okay. A woman is allowed to wear fake freckles. I've heard of fake freckles, but I mean, if it's going to attract more attention of men, that would be an issue. But if not, I'm not sure. But But the question is why, like her rationale. Why would she wants to do that? So I think that's the question to ask. If it attract attention, so it's the answer is absolutely not. But what? Why else? Okay. So next question, Rav, is it a chutzpah for someone in process of conversion to overlook some of the wrong he did that is not quite easily to repair with the excuse he's getting new neshama anyway? So, I mean, it's very general question. I would prefer the example, but let's try to answer in general. It is a chutzpah for someone in process of conversion to overlook some of the wrong he did that is not quite easy to repair. With excuse he's getting new neshama anyway. I guess in this case when even it's not easy to repair, but at least we can do two steps of the show. So we can regret, right, and decide not to do it again, right? So it's like at least we acknowledge that it is absolutely wrong what I did. I'm not proud of myself, and I would like to fix it, but fix is not easy. For example, right? Whatever example is, right? Right. So I would say don't say. Of course, a person gets a new neshama, but maybe this process of him or her to get a new neshama is going to be delayed because of this faults. Right. So I would say do Teshuvah, at least regret and decide not to do it again. So next question, Rav, would it be permitted to use an electric immersion? Use an immersion hot coil to bring water to boil inside a stainless steel sink. I believe it would eliminate the boiled water I believe is how the inmates boil the water in jail. I mean, we say we were in in my childhood that's how we had this. It has a water heater. I think still they sell it. They sell it like you put it like in your cup. You put it in the plug-in, and that's how you boil the water. And I remember many years ago. And actually, we bought one for traveling because we had to go someplace, and there were no we need hot water. I think we bought one for travel. Okay, but okay. So is it possible? First of all, it's not this thing is not so powerful to make the what is it the water boiled in a sink, in a cup, yes, but in a sink, no. And plus, it is not necessary because again, as we learned today, nobody's cooking in a sink, right? It's only what the second it was like the sink was exposed to the maximum degree of heroic Haloshon. So meaning that something like was on the fire, taken off the fire, and the stream would come. So that's a secondary, right? So no need to boiling water in a sink. And plus, I think there are some gaskets there. You can boil them, right? That's too much. Okay. So that's the answer. So again, as we said today, don't overdo it. So next question. Could I have a question about kashrus? Okay. Are we allowed to use same kitchen shares for fish and chicken when both are cold washed with soap in between? Yes. Yeah, there's no problem. And I would say because it's raw, so there is no problem. But for example, in our house we bought second pair. I mean, they're so cheap today. So why don't very cheap, even good quality. I mean, the best were like 3 times more, but regular quality with good references. I mean, very cheap. So we just replaced ours maybe 6 months ago, right? Maybe a little more because they broke after how long. My wife said like 15 years more. For sure, 15 years, like once in 50 years, yeah, you can replace them, no problem. Right, but technically there's no problem whatsoever. You just wash with soap and that's it. Okay, so next one. We have a question about stringencies of cleaning for Pesach. Okay, I wonder if the stringency automatically becomes a vow. If woman wants to be more stringent in the beginning of your marriage, when there is no kid, but find it's overwhelming when her child haven't children, can she stop the stringency? No, that's very good question. That's amazing question. So not only with stringency we clean for Pesach, but with other things. So we have to say if we before we start anything, you say bli neder, like you said bli neder, and actually tomorrow we're going to have I forget what's the word? Not niyila, but kol nidre. I apologize. Kol nidre. So this started this first prayer of Yom Kippur when we actually how to translate kol nidre? It's like a dissolvement of the vows or something. And in that part, we say that HaShem, all of the vows, all of the promises that I'm going to make, during the upcoming year, consider them like nothing. I'm telling you now. Maybe I'm going to get excited down the road, but I'm telling you now, that's not what I mean. I don't want to take anything as a vow. And I did it many years ago with the full kavana, very, very meant it, and that's it. So it stands. So I never cancel it. So whatever thing I do, so even 3 times, it's not considered to be a vow. But if person did not do it and then, so every time you have to say that I'll try my best, but for the time being, as a question, she's 20 years old, healthy, right? Now she has a kid. She has to take care of this and the husband and this and the whole house on her head. 2 kids, too many things, right? She cannot clean as now. She's now no longer in her early 20s. She's late 30s, for example. So she cannot clean as used to, of course. Right? So it's proper as with everything, to say bli neder. Right, to have in mind that I'm doing now because I have the opportunity to do this. Right, I have free time. I have the right, but otherwise I'm not planning to continue. Okay, right, it's very good question. So it's again approach in general, and plus if you've never done it, do it in this year Yom Kippur, which is tomorrow night. Okay, so next one. Is the general rule that one should feel an aversion for someone with a similar personality? Okay, so it's similar question, not the same but similar. Would there be something wrong or not recommended if someone is perfectly okay with marrying someone with a similar personality than his, in case both parties lay back and submissive? Not sure about how it works with 2 dominant parties. With 2 dominant parties, it's always a conflict. Always a conflict. She wants to go there, and he must go there. Right? That's the problem. So again, with 2 people, right? They similar personalities, right? Good example, laid back people. So these people not in a rush, always calm, and we're going to go there, right? But in a proper time, it could be 7 years from now. In the proper time, we had this personality when we had guests. I have one student stopping over here. He was living on the west coast, so he flew. We sent him to Yerushalayim, to yeshiva, right? And he stopped by us, to spend weekend with us, right? Shabbos. And the west coast, and he's like an American boy. He's more mature, but than most of the boys in his age, because he used to live independently with other guys, but he used to work from early teens, but he would do everything so slow, and he has to take care of this and put. For me, it was driving me crazy. I said, "Look, we have to go to shul." He said, "But you said they start at 8:45." I said, "Yes, I start at 8:45, like in Shabbos morning. But we have to get there. There's a walk there, and people from the cities, they tend to walk faster, right? Because they used to walk. But people from the suburbs, they used to drive everywhere. They not used to walk, right? They used to walk from parking lot to the store. That's it, right? So with this guy walking, you need to add 30% extra time, and then he wants to stop, and he wants to look around, and he wants to ask questions. So if people lay back, so they would do everything. So we're going to arrive there, no problem. Some weddings, right? Once I had to attend the wedding. It was many years ago, and with this lay-back people, two of them, and the whole community, almost the whole community. So and they asked me to drive there two of their friends, because they're from my town. So they were going to come, but I will tell them, and we're going to come all together. Okay, no problem. So we pick up these friends, and I told the friends, look, to drive there is it was in Muncie, right? Rabbi Mizrahi lives. So it was such and such time. Okay, doesn't matter. So, but it could be traffic. So I want to add half an hour extra. Okay, no problem. Maybe what I say 45 minutes extra, whatever, because I don't want to be late. They said the chuppah is 1:30, let's say 1:30 p.m. So we should arrive there by 1. So for sure we're going to the by chuppah. So we got in traffic, they closed the bridge, they closed these. Okay, so we got there 20 minutes before. There was nobody. 20 minutes before, not even cleaning guy. I said, what's going on? Then we had Hassan, then Kala is somewhere there, and they start 1.5 hour later, normal, and some people say, oh, why you came so early? So what do you mean? It's on time, no? 15 minutes, 20 minutes before event, is it too early? Oh, nobody starts on time here, right? Nobody, and for them it's normal. For me it's I was able to ready to explode. What do you mean? Disrespect to my time, disrespect to everybody's time. Maybe you don't have anything to do with your life. I understand that, but how about me? Right? I want to start on time and leave on time. You understand? So right, maybe 1.5 hours start later, but that's it. So if both of them lay back people, they said, what is the problem? They're getting ready, so let's eat, let's meet people. They said, no problem. But if to me, for example, so me and that person, it would be not such a good match. You understand? So I would always be in conflict with that person. Why are you late? He said, I'm not late. Well, it's they started. No, I said we have to get there. Find parking. Maybe it's going to be traffic, this and that. So because I cannot be late. Everybody can be, but not me. I must be on time. Okay. So right. So when there are two similar personality, I think it's good. When two like a dominant personality. I think that's not good. That's not healthy, right? Right, but right. So continue. But if men, for example, are dominant, and woman, she's a little laid back and she plays a little princess. But when need to get on time, she's always on time because she knows he's going to tell her, right? Right. But otherwise, she's laid back and she plays a princess. There's no problem. He actually might enjoy it. You understand? But right. So that's the thing. So of course it's case by case, but we have to know, we have to realize. So if person is laid back, so most likely he's going to be like that. She's going to be like that, most likely. So are you willing to deal with that or not? So that's the question. Okay. All right, so everybody, including people in my car, they knew that nobody starts on time in that place. Nobody. Okay. Okay, so continuation on that question. Okay, on this question. Rav, can one train himself mentally to start liking other types of people in order to be more flexible and expand the possibility of making things work with someone who is not exactly what he'd naturally look for otherwise? That's a very good question. Rav Shlita answered this question many times. I'm going to answer his answer. Can one bring himself to the mental status where the only thing he'd look for is the opposite gender, is for to be God-fearing and have the same hashkafa? That's the answer, actually. Right? All other cases are manageable. So meaning, okay. So let's read from the beginning, and we're going to explain. We're going to add things. Okay. So can one train himself mentally to start liking other types of people in order to be more flexible, expand the possibility? I mean, of course. So let's go. So at the end we said if she's let's say from the guy's perspective, if she's God fearing, yes, we send the same hashkafa. So all other things can be worked out. So I mean, you just take into consideration she's not going to be ready in 20 minutes, in 30 minutes also. So you tell her like 1 hour in advance. So please, honey, get ready. We have to leave. People are going to wait for us. So if she needs 1.5 hours, so give her 1.5 hours in advance. So right. So I mean, all of the things are workable, I think. So if she likes to go sightseeing, for example, so you have to be ready. So charge your headphones, right? Download the lectures so you can listen to lectures. She likes to sightseeing, go to the forest, to the park. No problem. To the lakes, waterfalls. Okay, go to the waterfalls, drive there, and she's taking pictures. She's enjoying the bugs and the birds and the bears and who knows what. But you listen to the class. That's it. Breathe fresh air. So everything can compromise. I don't think people have to get stuck on this type of people, that type of people. I mean, don't do all of this stereotypes. I mean, we don't know people so well to be to make all of the stereotypes. Okay, so we have to be very flexible. If she's a God-fearing person, she's not going to do anything against HaShem, right? So it's very important. The hashkafa, so I don't have to convince her in every little thing. So right, all others, I think it's secondary, and plus we can adjust. Right? Adjust, as I said, that she's taking too long to get ready. She put one outfit, then second, then third, and then after fifth, she said, "No, I'm not going." If you explode, so you're not a smart person, right? So you have to in your mind expect that she might say that there is nothing for her to wear. Right, and she does not want to go, and this and that. So you have to be patient and quiet and let her speak, and then you speak. and ask, no, honey, this second outfit is so good for you. And this, then brooch, and I don't know, this earrings, all of the, whatever, give her the compliments, and she would go. Right, that's it. So next question. I have a hypothetical question on genius advice by unqualified people. If one is almost 100 certain that some noisy family members would offer their genius advice on relationship and marriage, is there if they find out about her shidduch / marriage, and the family members have miserable relationship life, should they have hide the shidduch / marriage from the family, or is the family parents? That's a tough situation, right? So like on the one hand, you're among the people who are the most close to you by blood. On the other hand, you have to hide from them from enemies. Right? That's very sad situation. But let's see. Hypothetical question: genius advice, right? So, meaning by the family of unqualified people. If one almost 100 certain that noisy family members would offer their genius advice, so on the relationship, so just try to hide, because there is such a thing as ayin hara. They can ruin it, or even they say something, and even if you don't accept it, but it's still in your mind, in the background, you might. Maybe he's my uncle. He's stupid. I know that, but whatever this time he said about my fiance, there is something to it. You understand? So suddenly she's listening to this uncle of yours. So that's the problem. So it's probably not to tell him. So tell him there is a wedding. Oh, wedding? I did not. Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell. Apologies. I thought I did. I did not. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so and tell them, parents, of course, invite them to a wedding, and that's it, right? Beezrat HaShem. Yeah, so try to hide it as much as possible. So next one, Shalom Rabbi, I wonder, in accordance with Sephardic tradition, not to eat fish and dairy together, can we still cook the fish in a dairy oven? Right, that's it's very good question. So first of all, not all the Sephardic goes by this custom. I'm not sure which one do, which one don't. That's I don't. I think Rav Ovadia said that not a good custom. I think he said it, but we have to double check. So if this oven was non-binyama, meaning nobody used it for 24 hours, yes. You can cook fish there, right? So next question: if someone who is naturally passive and has seen himself all his life with a dominant woman, feels that deep inside this is something he has to change, could this be an advice from Satan? Okay, so again, this question from the beginning. If someone who is naturally passive sees himself, his life with a dominant woman, feels that deep inside that this is something has to change. This has to change. I mean, as he sees himself with a dominant one on one hand, but on the other hand, she would be very demanding. Is it what the person wants? If he's laid back, so maybe it's I think not maybe for sure. It's better for him to end up with somebody who is laid back. But this dominant woman, she's going to be a boss. I mean, again, there is a boss, and there's a boss. And as example, that we brought before, the boss is good, so she's going to take care of everything in the house. Like what could be better? So she's going to tell me what my role to do. Very good, very good, very good. But if somebody is laid back, like for example, this guy, this young fellow that was in the house. So I mean, he was a guest and he stayed only for 2 days. But I had too much of this. Like I'm not used to this. I'm on a tight schedule. Like I have to start on time. I have a next activity like planned. So for example, I had a class right before this one because of the schedule change. So I finished like 15 minutes before this class. So like until I got my book, so I got like 10 or 7 minutes before the class. That's my schedule. Sometimes I have 5 minutes before. I don't need anybody like to be laid back. That's too much. Right, so like to be with this dominant person, we have to reconsider it. I think if it's always good, or am I ready to accept it? Somebody is going to tell me what to do, and always making the decision. Sometimes that this person would forget to tell me about the decision. I mean, notify me, but. Is it good or bad? I guess it depends on the person, but to say automatically just because somebody is laid back and this dominant woman is going to be good for him, I don't think so. I mean, it's on case by case basis. So yeah, so to reconsider and be open for other types of people, absolutely. So the main two people, God fearing, same ashkafa, that's it. Okay, so next. I mean, I said that's it. But the third one, like some physical attraction, does not have to be like crazy, but some physical attraction. So that this person is not like repulsive to me, right? So, like we had this guest in our house, and they did say and sometimes I could not believe my ears what I would hear from the guy. So the guy would smoke, so he would smell the guys sit on my side of the table, so women would sit on my wife's side of the table, right? We have a different side of the table. So I would sit here, right? And this guy, so sometimes he would it's Friday night, and he would breathe like all of this with a smell from his mouth. And he's in his early 40s or something, and he's this huge stomach, and he's I don't know, and he said, no, I cannot settle, and this is not good, and this is not thin enough. I only want size 8 or 6, let's say petite, but she's not, and she's overweight, and she's not working on herself, and she has to take care and go to gym. I look at this guy. You serious? Have you ever seen when the last time you look at the mirror? When you last time you smell for the smell from your mouth? You serious? But there are people like that. So I mean, because I guess because of the past, we had few of these people in my house. Because of the past, they've been unfortunately in so many relationships during their lifetime. So now they cannot stop, and they are afraid to be missing out. So to miss out, that maybe the next the girl is going to be like Miss Universe or something. You understand? With this clown. I mean, it's ridiculous. So the bottom line is why I'm saying this: if you have any a physical attraction, don't have something repulsive for sure. So there is no problem. There is no problem. So 3 things, and you're good. Just 1 second, it's reloading. So next question: what does it mean when someone is having recurrent dreams of being in Israel, specifically a same restaurant, over and over again with a little detail? What if someone is having a dream about tzaddikim? It's a very interesting question. Before answering this question, so if we know for sure, so if there is a dream that there is a recurrent dream, and there is like everything is happening word to word, like exactly the same situation. So in most of the cases, we have to take this dream seriously, right? But if it's for example, in this case, they've been in Israel, specifically in the same restaurant. So try to like analyze what is that in that restaurant, what person is doing. So if he's ordering, I don't know, like something, hummus, I don't know, salad, whatever, fish. I don't know what this the dream should tell us. So I guess in this case, don't do anything, just wait. But if it's a little different scenario, when for example somebody is like from their relative past relatives, like grandpa's father or something, like comes to that person in dream and tells them like do this, do this, do this. So that would be different. But in like because it's like a call for action here. I mean, if it's only been in restaurant and not nice environment, so just leave it be and on one hand, but keep it in mind, like maybe HaShem is going to send you a hint. But when it's recurring, meaning that there is some importance in it. I never had these dreams, but I heard from other people. They report me to me, and like the same exact dream, and right, and well, from few of my students. Right. So like that relatives came to them and they asked him to do something. Right. And they say like it would like repeat it word to word, like 5 times, 6 times. Okay. What is someone is having a dream about today? I mean, what could be better than having a dream about tzaddikim, right? So I mean, yeah. So what should we learn from this dream? I don't know. I mean, it's not so simple. It's not so simple. Usually, the dreams is something like that person was thinking during the day, but like the dreams about tzaddikim show that that person is a very high spiritual level. Okay, so let me reset it 1 second. Okay. So next question. I wonder which information one must disclose in shidduch: health issues, past troubles, family background, etc. Actually, all of it. So health, I guess it's not necessarily on the first stages, but actually some people are required, like even before they meet, they want to exchange this 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 I forgot all of the definitions there. Like this blood test, the blood test, for example, for Ashkenazim, right? Right, the blood test, right, is a special. Everybody knows because there is a chance that they have some common disease in their genes, and that then, according to many opinions, this shidduch would not be recommended. Right, so I mean, it's easier to stop without going to the next step. Right, and health issues. It's also must be disclosed because she's 18 years old, and she does not want to marry someone with with a history of like mental instability. Why? Right, if there is so many men to choose from, and he has this issue, right? It's right, like he's not the best candidate for her. Let her decide, right? Or he has, for example, he has in his like in his family, like diabetes or like cancer, like on the woman's side, right? So all of them have a cancer, mother, grandmother, I don't know, this aunt, I don't know, like some of her sisters, like right? So he wants to know all of this, right? So he wants to marry and have a chance to have a healthy family. But if there is a big chance that she also is going to have cancer, and he has to and she would pass in early in her life, why would he go in these things to begin with? You understand? So we do our shtadlus, if it's very likely that this might happen again. So we try to stay away from this. So yeah, that's past travels. Some people with family background, yes, about family. Everybody ask about family, because why? We learn in Rambam, it's one of the factors that affect a person, right? Maybe he wants to be very good, right? And we know about Rivka, about Rachel and Leah, but how many Rivkas and Rachel and Leahs? Like all others, majority of the people are not like that. So the majority of the people would follow the family pattern. So family is rotten, most likely. It's not always, but according statistically, most likely that the children are also rotten, because they were brought up in this environment, and the parents told them that's good, that's your goal in life. You understand? So of course you have to look at the person. So if a person is changed and you see that totally different from the family, but right, but still you have a right to ask. He said, let's get married. Are your parents going to get excited? My mother, but father is not going to be able to. Why? What's wrong? He does not like it. No, he's in a prison. Oh, he's in a prison. For how long? For another 17 years. 17 years. But your older brother, you said yeah, unfortunately he's not. What's wrong? He's in a different. No, he's also in a prison. He's also in a prison. You see that the whole family is criminals. Right? She may be not as criminal, but she has these genes. Yeah, you understand that's very scary. So, and some people would not consider this to begin with. Of course, we rely on HaShem that He's going to protect us, but to put ourselves in a line of danger, okay. And that's why many religious people, they would never divorce, not because that they still like each other, right? But they would do it because of the children, because they know as soon as if we divorce, and my daughter, my son, is going to put that his parents are divorced, the chances are going down, because like a broken family. So I mean, is it fair? Not fair? I mean, it's realistic. It's reality is like that. Right, of course, there is exception. They not going to check. They overlook these things. But in all of the religious, Haredim environment, that they would check all of these things, right? And that's why they still Haredi, and other people have broken families, right? So I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Hopefully, we're going to find somebody with a similar background who is not going to be so picky. And that's the way to go. So let's see. So okay, next question. Our general question: if one has a tender and submissive nature, okay, but they are trained to be tough, okay, and take charges through the punishment and life situations. Right. Punishment and life situation, which lead them to end up to connect to submissiveness more. But consider being submissive is voluntarily vulnerability, right? And would be and would be strong when triggered through emotional detachment. Very interesting question. How should one adjust this unhealthy mentality, especially with shidduchim marriage? It's a very good question. So let's try to answer it. So again, from the beginning, if one has a tender and submissive nature, so that's essence of a person, right? But they were trained to be tough and take charge through the punishment and life situation. So is this training absolutely wrong? I would say maybe not. If a person would show this submissive and tender and the nature to everybody else, people are going to eat this person alive, on the breakfast, how soon? Very soon, maybe meaning today. So there's some things that we have to hide from the environment because people are cruel. So, but for example, this lady could be like this, submissive and tender with your husband, but with other people she could be tough with the neighbors, with people at work. So there is no contradiction. I don't think it's something like split personality or something wrong with that, right? Just inside, take charge of the punishment life situation, which leads them end up to connect with submissiveness more. Okay, which is again, there's no problem. So she has to find a guy who is more like in control, who is more like fatherly figure, who is more like a protective. So he sees her as a wife and somebody that he has to protect, right? From to shield her from the whole society, which is good. So hopefully he's not going to overdo it. Also, we have to have the balance. But consider being submissive vulnerability and would be strong when triggered. Okay, so right, we're strong when triggered again when situation. So again, we don't want people to take advantage of us, right? So submissive, vulnerable with inside of the family, but for outsiders, absolutely not. Okay. How should one adjust unhealthy mentality? So as I said, I don't see it as unhealthy. It just have to balance. In what situation we have right? Some tough, in some situation not tough, especially shidduch and marriage. Okay. Okay, so next question. So continuation of the question. Should we have if we have this noisy family, right? Should we hide from them the information about shidduch? So, for example, this person whose wife is supposed to deliver, right? She did not deliver yet, so he went to hospital yesterday. Did not deliver yet, but I told him. So she said, when they had the first child, they told us I said she's but how many months she's in? No, she said, no, it's only 3 months or 4 months. So I said, look, I like you very much. I like you. Like that you trust me very much. But don't this information you have to keep it private, very very private until the last moment. Especially people that you can that have nothing to do. I mean, we're very close, but we have to hide this information to the last moment. So now he learned his lesson, and he told me when after the time is due. So she was supposed to deliver Rosh Hashanah, did not. So he said this. I mean, right? That's a right approach. So I mean, right? With me, with other people, I mean, I am not going to give anybody eye but still, it's proper to hide this good news from all people, because they can give you ayin hara. So yeah, well, why you need that? So right, so that was the question, especially family who cannot I don't need their advice. They the guy's divorced 3 times. He's going to give me marriage counseling. His advice who to marry. Right. So continue. Continuing up on this question. What if they are concerned that their genius family members would cause trouble even after the marriage, and God forbid give all divorce-oriented suggestion? Should they invite the family members to the wedding or even let them know? So if the situation is tough like that, like if it's possible to move out, like somewhere, and this family member would never like hear about them, so don't have any communication. Some say no, everything is good, right? And then they hear you, young children screaming. They go, oh, you did you get married? No, it's a neighbor's child. It's neighbor's child. I'm outside. My window is open. It's window. No, it's a windows. It's neighbor's child. So okay, so I think right. So from people like that, like why would you like ruin your family? You come there with your husband, and they get they give like him. They tell him how you were little and what did you do and all the stupid things. Like and he would get upset or something, or he would not like you as much as before. So right. So it's proper to stay away if the divorce and his suggestion, right? So if family is like that, so try to like this, okay. Okay, so we're not going to see. Halachah Emit, Rav Ovadia Yosef, is one permitted to eat Mishnah Bena. Okay, no problem. So I mean, what is it? So it's not strictly forbidden. For Ashkenazim, it's the first food, not the first, but luxury food that everybody likes. Everybody likes bagel, cream cheese, and lox. If you don't eat it, like you're not a Jew, basically. Unless you have some health issue, like it's the most Jewish food. What do you mean? At least in America, it's like maybe like a sushi for some for Japanese. Okay. Okay. So next question, does the methods of fake it till you make it not work very well with humility? No, it's not fake it till you make it. It's actually it's what we're learning in our class Hilchos Dios. It's not faking it. A person is trying to be sincere, working on his character. Do the opposite that he's get used to. His character until because it like he mentally wants to change until it becomes his second nature. So it's not faking it. It's actually like working on his character. So they call it fake it until you make it. But our is actually working on our character. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's very commendable. Okay, so continuation on the question. If one is obligated to disclose information about shidduch, health issues, past troubles, family background, and so on. So usually people don't put these things on a resume, right? So during the private conversation, if they want to ask, or there's somebody else who is checking the reference, they want to ask. So that's the different story. Okay. So Rabbi, what if he has many shameful things in the past, or has a family of all leftists? Okay, how can he knows that he has overcome the past, or what extent he should discuss this in Shidduch? So I mean, okay. For example, I heard from Rabbi Mizrahi Shlita that previously promiscuous should say, let's say I was not exactly Sarah Imenu. Something along these lines. Yeah, so we don't have to really incriminate ourselves. And actually in the Jewish court, just so we know, if a person incriminates themselves, we don't take his testimony. Except in financial cases, right? So a person said, "You owe me $1,000 that you don't pay me." Said, "You know what? I apologize. Yes, I cannot pay you because of this and that, but I owe you $1,500." So he said $1,500. It's like 100 witnesses say. But in all other cases, he said, I stole from him. I don't believe him. I killed him. I don't believe him. You understand? So, and technically, unless they ask you about these negative things, so you're not obligated to say, you know what, I have this and this disease in your family. How do you feel about that? If they don't ask you, so you don't volunteer. You understand? But unless a person has some hidden disease, some internal, for example, internal, and it's not visible from outside, right? And it's not you cannot detect by his behavior or her behavior. So in this case, after some time, after things is everything else is working out, right? So she's not to be scared and run away. So yes, in this case, you can disclose the thing that I have this internal thing, right? And I've been having it for some years, but my doctor says it's under control if I take this pill, if I do this procedure from time to time, yeah, but not in the first date, not in the resume. Okay. But if some shameful things and a person is did Teshuvah, so if they did not ask you a direct question, so you're not obligated to volunteer it, because why? It's irrelevant. So I don't do these things anymore, right? Shameful things. All families has all leftists. Okay, families all leftists is very bad. But usually people don't ask these things. So if the political view, I mean, if it's religious people, so they would say that the parents are Haredim. Okay, so they're married, still married, father, mother, this and that. So, but otherwise, if they're not religious, they're not religious, right? So that doesn't matter. They're not religious professors, or not religious janitors, or leftists, or Republicans, or Democrats, or other party. Who cares about that? So that's it's not our concern. Okay, but continue. How can we know? How can we know that? How can he know that he has overcome the past? Or to what extent should we discuss this in Shidduch? So I mean, that's a general question. So how do you know that person did Teshuvah in this area? So meaning that he stopped doing this. So he's ashamed. He understands that it's wrong, and he has not done it since a long time ago. So that's it. So unless they ask them this question, right, to have this addiction, so you can say no, I don't, which is true. Okay. And in some cases, right, you can be awake. You have to spell them out, all of this forbidden relationships. So it was in the past. So unless it's relevant. For example, the man is a Kohen, so he cannot marry some woman who was with non-Jew or other forbidden relationships. That's it. So, but otherwise, there is no problem whatsoever. Right. So next question. Next question. What if the temperament someone feels they are somewhere in the middle? Okay, being soft and yielding, but also likes to lead and make decisions. Okay, that's a very good question. Will this be problematic for marriage? Like if someone marries one who is more dominant, they will feel competitive, and if they marry someone who is more submissive, they might lack the certain aggression and the sense they need. That's a very good question. Okay, I mean, okay, so but let's see from the beginning. So what if the temperament What if with the temperaments? I apologize. Temperament. Someone feels that they are somewhat somewhere in the middle. Okay, which is good. Somewhere in the middle, being soft and yielding. Okay, but also like to lead and may make decisions. I mean, people like, even though somebody is a leader, like a leader is sometimes he wants vacations. He wants to somebody else to be a leader. So, like, if a wife will let you be in a leader in a kitchen, what she's going to cook, she does not have to. Like, if she's going to ask me about every dish, yeah, but the salad you want with cucumbers, yeah, with cucumbers, and with garlic too. Please, like, just do whatever you want. Just do it. So that. That there is no problem when somebody's leading or somebody's submissive, somebody not submissive. So, I mean, but people is not like from the mold or something. Yeah. So people are people different, right? They behave differently. So I don't think that it's any problem is a man with marriage. I don't think so. Like someone marries someone who is more dominant, like when. Even more dominant, so sometimes they want to be like let alone, basically. So you be in charge. Okay. So again, there is no problem whatsoever. So continue. Next question. Could it be possible for that someone has a mutable personality? Where they adapt to whatever marriage situation life puts him through. Okay, and he's naturally attracted. 1 second, jumped. Naturally attracted to the strong women only due to his upbringing. Okay, but in reality, he'd pretty much turn into whatever his wife needs. Okay, I mean that's. And the time and the times and the times lives put him a situation where he'd had to have to lead. He did pretty well. Okay. Does being the middle child help? He wanted to be very flexible, thanks to it, since he was never either overly spoiled or overly ignored. So that very interesting question. Okay, so let's see. So let's do from the beginning. Could it be possible that someone has a mutable personality? So mutable, it's very interesting. That he adapt to whatever marriage situation. So I mean, the main goal is for us to be servant of HaShem. So she wants to have a couch, or she wants to walls painted this way or that way. I mean, like all of these things, like very much irrelevant, right? So let him be in charge. So if she she's not interfere with his learning Torah and doing mitzvahs, that's all things. I think it's not even secondary. Understand? So, and especially if a person can be flexible, and all of us should be flexible. If you always going head to head, I'll let you do this, so you must let me do that. So that's too much. I mean, this marriage is not going to last long. So we must be flexible. So most of the things are not worth the battle. So like again, if it's a spirituality, yes, but other things. Absolutely irrelevant, right? But reality, we're pretty much or whatever the wife needs. It's not like she needs. It's not like she's the boss and you're not the boss. People have different responsibilities. So a man learns Torah and woman runs the household. She wants him to go shopping. It's not like she's boss and she's the boss and he's like her servant and he goes shopping. No. Because she's tired, because she's been cooking, she's been cleaning, she's been taking care of the kids. So she wants him to go to the store, and she wants him to buy exactly ingredients or vegetables that she likes. She likes tomatoes, but not this tomato, but those tomatoes. And don't buy this bread, but that bread. So I mean, that's That's it's not like she's commanded. It's not like she's mistreating him. It's like she only gives him like share responsibility about the family. There's no problem whatsoever. So don't get stuck because of sort of personality and stuff like that. So just if a person is God fearing, they're going to most likely they're going to be flexible and try to adjust to adjust, because the marriage is not 50 and plus 50 equal 100. Marriage is 100 plus 100 equal family, right? So you do your 100, you don't expect anything back, and if somebody the other party gives you back, you're amazed, like unbelievable. It's so unexpected and undeserved. Like somebody like I don't know, so somebody like a person who is like a stranger gives you a gift, like significant gifts. You will go, wow, right? So same in some senses here, and you have a long-lasting family, Beezrat HaShem. And many times, like it's not so submissive, but being smart, just keep quiet. And how long you have to keep quiet? 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and that's it. And if you answer and you're being sarcastic and you're being smart and you remind that person of their faults, guess what? It's like a recipe for disaster. But if you beat your tongue and being quiet for 5 seconds or 5 minutes or 5 hours, guess what? You won. Right. So that's I think the most important ingredients in all these relationships. So okay, let's do last 2 questions. I got a general question. If our wicked generation, when a woman tried to make to take men's role, okay, and be feminist, okay, it seems that the curse of Adam, toil for Parnasa, lands on them accordingly. Correct. I wonder if God could expound on this. Okay. So again, wicked generation won't try to men's role and being feminist. So they like to be career women and work. So in the company where I work, that's the career women, tough cookies, and all of them were single, I think. Yeah, all of them were single. Somebody was married, I don't remember, but all was single, very ambitious, and they want to be better than all of the men combined. Right, work long hours, all the craziness in the world. It seems that the curse of Adam total for Parnasa. Many times it's not about Parnasa. It's not. Parnasa, it's what you need to eat. It's curse of the ego. They want to be better. They have they make money much more than they need for 7 generations. They can support like 20 children, right? But they continue working, right? So that's the curse of this feminist. So for Adam, like it's for his sustenance, he has to work, right? Lens according. Wonder what Kolarov could expound on this. I mean, these women they think they are free, but only HaShem can describe who is free, who is not free, and he describe a person who is free in this world is only when a person can say no to his Yetzer Hara, right? So free meaning free. A person have freedom of choice. Other people not free. All the feminists they have all the desires more than anybody else, right? So they're not free. They've been controlled by their desires. Right. Okay. So last question. Right question about midos. Okay. If we are flexible in many areas, simply because we don't care about those, is it proper? Question about midos. If we're flexible in many areas simply because we don't care, but this is it's absolutely proper. So if a person cares so particular about all these things, all the irrelevant things, so that's the big problem. That's the big problem. So like again, if it's spirituality, like be concerned very very much. All the physicality, not so much. So like if a person don't care, I think it's a good approach, and we have to learn from this approach, apply to all other things, all other area of life, that connect to physicality. Okay. Because most of divorces, or all of these arguments in the family, because of physical things, not because of the spiritual. Right. So, but if other person is flexible, so that helps a lot. Okay. So last question. We have one last question. Does someone undergoing conversion have to also break into Kippur intentionally once? Oh, very interesting question. I think so. Yes. Right. Same as Shabbos. I mean, especially in this case because it's Shabbos. So yeah. So just turn on, turn off the light, and it should be enough. Okay. So let's stop here. So tomorrow is Yom Kippur. So I wish everybody so we'll be sealed. Be sealed in the book of life for the next year. In at least in the merit of our learning and merit of our dedication that we start on time. At least we start on time. Baruch HaShem. We start on time and continue going and pushing all the way. And HaShem should have mercy on us and give us more time and work on our midas. But as we learned from Rambam, right, it's very, very critical to work to not to one kind of the person that Hashem said I'm never going to forget, forgive, right? The person who said I'm good, I'm perfect. Not perfect. I still have things to work on, but when the person said that, so she's saying I'm perfect. So, but in this person, Hashem is never going to forget. But all others, Hashem, I'm imperfect. I'm working on myself. Please give me some time. Please help me. You're my Father in heaven. And then he has no choice because we don't rely on ourselves. We don't rely on anybody else, but on him. And he, in some sense, he has no choice. And that's what he wants. He wants us to put him in charge, and that's the theme of Yom Kippur. One of the themes, right, on Yom Kippur, meaning to put Hashem in charge and make him our king. Beezrat Hashem. So let's wish everybody good Shabbos, good Yom Kippur. Try to read the text. Try to concentrate as much as possible. Of course, it's very long, but try. And until next week, Beezrat Hashem, same time. Thank you and good night.